All right, good morning, everyone. Are you ready, Tampa? All right. On behalf of Johnson & Johnson Global Services Tampa and our One J&J community, allow me to welcome our distinguished guests this morning who went out of their way to witness and be a part of a major milestone in the history of J&J. First, Governor of Florida, Rick Scott. And Tampa Mayor, Bob Buckhorn. Now, you know our celebration would not be complete, of course, without the presence of our senior leaders and supportive J&J community. We also have with us Dominic Caruso, Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer of Johnson & Johnson. And Ms. Erin Champlin, Vice President of Global Services. In addition, our ESP executive sponsors and ESP program leads, the Global Services Leadership Team, the member Global Services Tampa Leadership Team, and the GS Tampa employees. Last but not least, I'm very pleased to find familiar faces and guests from partners and the J&J community. Welcome to the celebration where we mark the opening of our Tampa Center to support globally standard world-class services that enable and amplify the power of Johnson & Johnson across the globe. To formally open and get this event started, please allow me to introduce Dominic Caruso, Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer of Johnson & Johnson. Thank you.
Yes, I'll use this. Well, hello everyone, and thanks, Ron, and it's a pleasure to be with you all today, and it's an honor to be on the stage here with Governor Scott and Mayor Buckhorn. Thank you very much for joining us today. I'd like to just say a few words about Johnson & Johnson and what drives us, our mission, what it is to be a member of the Johnson & Johnson family, that I'm so proud to see so many new faces here joining our family of Johnson & Johnson employees. As the world's largest healthcare company, Johnson & Johnson has a very simple aspiration, which is to care for the world one person at a time. And this mission drives every employee of Johnson & Johnson every day. We believe there's never been a more exciting time to be in the business of caring for others. As you know, we are guided by our credo. It's a document that has successfully led us for the last 70 years, although we're a company that is celebrating 130 years in existence. Our credo value system was written by General Robert Wood Johnson some 70 years ago. It establishes core values, responsibilities, and really it's the corporate character of who we are at Johnson & Johnson. And the corporate social responsibility is part of our everyday life at Johnson & Johnson and a very important part of our credo. And quite frankly, we put the needs of the people we serve first. We have more than 250 operating companies in 60 countries around the world. And even though our business is expansive and global, our core is really centered around local communities in which we live and work. When deciding on the location for a new shared services headquarters, we had many factors to consider, and those included: where is there a rich pool of talent? Where can our employees thrive? Where can we partner with the local community to best serve our core values? These are just some of the considerations that led us to Tampa, because you met all of those criteria. And it's no surprise that Mayor Buckhorn has stated Tampa has become a magnet for well-educated millennials, and that's true. And since 2010, more than 879,000 private sector jobs have been added in Florida, which is just fantastic. And due to a large number of universities in Central Florida, Tampa has a great pipeline of high-quality entry-level talent and it's very important to us at Johnson & Johnson to attract that entry-level talent. Last year, about 1/4 of Johnson & Johnson's new hires were young professionals under the age of 35. Tampa also provides a great source of managerial level talent due to the presence of other shared service providers in the community. And also the diversity of talent in Tampa provides the potential for French, Canadian, Spanish-speaking colleagues. So it's an important addition to our global reach and our quest to become even a more diverse company going forward. We've already partnered successfully with many communities in Florida. We have a thriving vision care business. I'll be going there this evening. We're having actually our board of directors meeting in Jacksonville at our vision care facility tomorrow. And we also have our Human Performance Institute in Orlando, which is quite an impressive place. There's about 250 Johnson & Johnson employees that'll be specializing in human resources, information procurement, and information technology and procurement here in Tampa, and the site will continue to develop and grow. And as you know, by 2020, we expect to have 500 employees here at this location. In addition, we are making an approximately $24 million investment here in Tampa, which is fantastic. And it's an environment designed to foster collaboration, cultural unity, and growth. So we look forward to working together with all of you here in Tampa. Thank you all for coming today, and thank you again for our distinguished and honored guests, Governor Scott and Mayor Buckhorn, for being here. It's a pleasure for me to be here, and thank you again for everything you've done and everything I know you're going to do for Johnson & Johnson. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dominic.
I don't want to mess up your papers.
Thank you very much, Dominic. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce Governor Rick Scott. And before I do, Rick Scott is the 45th governor of the great state of Florida. As promised during his campaign, Scott is focused on creating jobs and turning Florida's economy around. Born in Bloomington, Illinois, and raised in Kansas City, Missouri, his father was a city bus driver and then a truck driver. His mother worked as a JCPenney clerk. At times, the family struggled financially and lived in public housing. Governor Scott has been married to his high school sweetheart for 43 years. He has 2 daughters and 4 grandsons. After attending high school and community college, Governor Scott enlisted in the United States Navy, where he served on active duty aboard the USS Glover as a radar man. The GI Bill enabled Governor Scott to attend college and law school. While enrolled at the University of Missouri, Kansas City, and working full-time at a local grocery store, Governor Scott and Ann made their first significant foray into the business world by buying 2 Kansas City donut shops. for Governor Scott's mother to manage. Following graduation from UMKC with a degree in business administration, Governor Scott earned a law degree from Southern Methodist University. After law school, Governor Scott stayed in Dallas, working for the city's largest law firm, Johnson & Swanson. I thought that was a trick for a minute. Primarily representing companies in the healthcare, oil and gas, and communication industries. In 1987, while still practicing law, Governor Scott made an offer to purchase HCA Inc. When the offer was rejected, Governor Scott started Columbia Hospital Corporation with his and Ann's entire life savings of $125,000. When Governor Scott left Columbia in 1997 at age 44, it was one of the most admired companies in America. It had grown to become the world's largest healthcare company with more than 340 hospitals, 135 surgery centers, and 550 home health locations in 37 states and 2 foreign countries. Colombia employed more than 285,000 people, making it the 7th largest U.S. employer and 12th largest employer worldwide. Please welcome Florida Governor Scott.
Very nice, thank you. Thank you for the introduction. I've been so successful, I'm back in public housing. Well, first off, you know, I ran a large hospital company, and I can just tell you, J&J is a great company. They were our biggest supplier when I was in the business, and J&J is just a class act. Ralph Larson was the CEO at the time, and you couldn't pick somebody that you would admire more in business than Ralph Larson. And so he epitomized exactly what Robert Wood Johnson thought about what J&J should stand for. So I just want to first off tell you congratulations on all your success. Congratulations on being involved in probably one of the premier companies in the absolute world. You are just, you hit the lottery when you get to work with J&J. I want to recognize everybody, Dominic and Aaron, they came down from cold, high-tax states. This is like the Truman Show, if you saw that movie. Our weather's like this every day. We usually have a little bit less humidity than this. We have no snow. We have, and by the way, you get a big pay raise when you move to Florida because we have no income tax. So, this is a nice announcement. Corporate office moves are also nice. So we can make that announcement tomorrow. You have a board meeting in Florida, which is the right place to have a board meeting. But I want to thank everybody for coming down from cold, high-tax states. Hope you continue to grow here. I want to recognize Mayor Buckhorn. We got elected just a few months after each other, and Mayor Buckhorn got elected right after I did, and we focused on job creation. And I don't know how many events we've had to do together, but he's a mayor that really is focused on doing the right thing for this community and has worked hard to make sure this is a place where you can get jobs. In our state, we've cut taxes 55 times since I got elected. We've cut taxes $5.5 billion. That's not exactly what's happening up north. We've cut 4,500 regulations, and we're continuing to do well. So our education system is outstanding. And that's one of the reasons why we've been able to get so many companies here. But today the big announcement is J&J is going to be adding over 500 jobs by 2020. They're already invested over $20 million in our community, and they're going to continue to grow because we're going to continue to make sure we have the right talent, the right taxes, the right regulation, and we're going to continue to make sure J&J wants to add more and more jobs all the time. So congratulations for working with a great company, and this is a great announcement.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Tampa Mayor Bob Buckhorn. Bob Buckhorn was sworn in as the 58th mayor of the nation's 53rd largest city on April 1st, 2011, and was re-elected in 2015 with more than 95% of the vote. During his term, Mayor Buckhorn focused on the city and region's economic leadership, stability, and most importantly, business opportunity. Today, local government is smarter, urban development is centered on the riverfront, and Tampa is recognized as the competitive city it is. Our continued success in those efforts will set the stage for how and why we build in tomorrow's Tampa. As mayor, Bob Buckhorn serves on several boards and governing authorities, including the Hillsborough County Aviation Authority, the Tampa Hillsborough Expressway Authority, and the Tampa Port Authority. From 2011 to 2012, he was also a fellow for the Urban Land Institute, Daniel Rose Center for the Public Leadership in Land Use. Previously, Bob Buckhorn served as the special assistant to former Tampa Mayor Sandra Freeman, and in 1995, he was elected Tampa City Council. In 2003, Buckhorn joined the Dewey Square Group, a nationally known public affairs company, until he opened Buckhorn Partners, a public affairs firm based in Tampa in 2007. Buckhorn graduated from Penn State University in 1980. He is married to Dr. Catherine Lynch Buckhorn, and they have 2 daughters, Grace and Colleen. Please welcome Tampa Mayor Bob Buckhorn.
I don't know how I got 95% of the vote except for all those cemeteries that were voting. You know, when you're Irish, that's allowed. Dominic, thank you very much for, first and foremost, for believing in Tampa. There's a couple special people here I want to introduce. One's in the back of the room who doesn't know I'm going to do this. The captain of the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Stanley Cup winning Tampa Bay Lightning, Dave Andrechuk. David, wave your hand. For those of us who have lived here and seen that picture over and over of Dave Andrechuk holding up that trophy after a long career and having the opportunity to bring that cup home to Tampa, that was one of the things that we treasure. And David, thank you for being a part of that as well. But most of all, to all of you, first of all, let me say thank you to Johnson & Johnson. You know, when I look out in this crowd, I see what Tampa is about to become. This is a place that 3 out of the last 5 years has led the state in a number of new jobs being created. This is a place that young people are flocking to, where intellectual capital is coming to want to be a part of this. I see it in your faces. This is that place in America that the best and the brightest want to come and be a part of. This is that place where there's a sense of hope, there's a sense of destiny. There's a belief that our last chapter has yet to be written. And it's going to be written, and on those pages will be companies like Johnson & Johnson, who believed in us and believed in our ability to provide the talent, to provide the resources, to make this a place that folks want to come and be a part of. You know, I was the assistant to the mayor in 1987, and I remember being here when this was nothing but forest. I remember being here when we attracted Solomon Brothers right down the street, which was the first relocation of a financial services center to come to the Tampa Bay area. It was in 1988, and they were followed by Citi, and I see your neighbors and partners at Citi here as well. That's because we believe in each other. We believe in the capacity of this to be a great city. We recognize that it takes a lot of people and a lot of investment and a lot of corporations who will come and provide us with that benchmark that will allow us to move to that next level. And Governor Scott can't say this. He's been a wonderful partner for us for the last 6 years as we have emerged out of that wreckage of this recession to be that place in America that everyone is talking about. That's us. And more importantly, right now, that's you and you. So keep believing, keep adding jobs, keep participating, keep investing in this community, not with your financial resources, but with your time and your treasure and your talent. Johnson & Johnson can make a mark on this. I want to see those red shirts everywhere. In every neighborhood, making a difference. We believe in you. Thank you for believing in us, but I promise you this is just the beginning, because this is Tampa's time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Next, I'd like to introduce Aaron Champlin, Vice President of Global Services. After working more than 25 years in business services, Aaron joined J&J in December of 2014 and has since been focused on defining the strategy, scope, and transition plan for J&J Global Services, guiding us today to this ribbon cutting, working collaboratively with the ESP leadership team, functional leaders, and current shared services leaders. Aaron is building the processes, technology, and organization to deliver shared services operations for the company. Aaron partners with HR, finance, procurement, and information technology to define and execute a robust plan to stand up and lead a multifunctional shared services organization. Aaron has earned a strong reputation as a strategic and pragmatic leader who focuses on processes and outcomes builds high-performing teams, and continuously drives strong results. Please welcome Aaron Champlin.
Thank you, sir. Awesome. This is so great. It's awesome to be here with all of you today. We're celebrating a huge event, a moment, a place, but really, this is celebrating all of you. I'm truly glad to be here on this beautiful day in this beautiful facility. To me, there's three things about this moment, this place, and all of you here that are particularly important and part of what makes our company particularly special. Those three things are history, health, and people. This company is certainly about history. The Johnson & Johnson 130 years in business is impressive. It's remarkable in and of itself, but it's also remarkable because this historic institution, on the cutting edge of so much change and innovation, we are constantly looking forward, creating a vision of a better future, looking for the next challenge and that next breakthrough. That's why we are here today in Tampa. And we have a lot of history here in the state of Florida. Florida has been a focal point of innovation within Johnson & Johnson. DePuy Synthes has its power tool facility in Palm Beach Gardens. These are the finest, most precise, smart tools in the world, helping bring about better surgical outcomes. Another Florida company, Cordis, which was founded in Miami in 1956, was a pioneer in innovative devices and products for interventional vascular medicine and electrophysiology, and joined Johnson & Johnson's interventional systems business in 1996. Last year, in 2015, Cordis was sold by J&J to Cardinal Health, representing another win-win scenario. Florida has been the headquarters of Johnson & Johnson's vision care business in Jacksonville, and Orlando is the headquarters of J&J Vision Care's Vistakon, the company that created AccuView contact lenses, the first disposable contact lenses, and later, the first daily disposable lenses. And Orlando, in Lake Nona, is J&J's Human Performance Institute. It is creating breakthroughs in health, wellness, and fitness, particularly designed for what we call the executive athlete. Wellness is what our chairman, Alex Gorski, believes is the most promising new frontier of healthcare, because prevention is the very best medicine. The history of Johnson & Johnson here and around the world is the history of modern health and wellness. So of course this moment is also about health. It is all about health. What one thing is at once so global and yet so personal. Health and wellness for all the differences in culture, politics. What is more important to every individual on earth, every family, every community, and every country? Economists have always recognized that countries that are wealthier tend to be healthier. But what we are learning is that countries and communities that are healthier have the foundation for building wealth and well-being. On a micro level, this is one of the healthiest companies on earth, with more meaningful health and wellness opportunities for our associates. And we have demonstrated that good health is good business. Florida is a very healthy place. I can see that in all of your shining faces. It's a natural center for health and wellness. Health, we all believe, is the center of everything. All of this Johnson & Johnson history in health and wellness around the world and this state leads to this day in this place, where our North America Regional Delivery Center is now based. Yes, this is an impressive, beautiful new facility, but this Tampa Service Center is really about people. For all of the scientific breakthroughs and medical miracles, for all the devices that have reclaimed so millions of people's lives, for all the iconic consumer brands of this great company. In the end, our real difference, our real secret ingredient is, and always has been, our people. It is people with unique talent and initiative, People who brought to life our vision of global reach with local focus and made a business advantage of local management. It is people who work long hours in offices like this one. It is people who work in laboratories and factories. It is all of us who take on the greatest challenges facing global health and wellness. It is people with a unique quest for learning, for innovation, for achievement. It is 128,000 people in over 60 countries working on thousands and thousands of projects every day who share one common purpose: helping people everywhere live longer, healthier, and happier lives, and share a common devotion to live the credo that unites and inspires us never to forget the first responsibilities defined in that simple but important document: to the doctors, nurses, patients, to the mothers and fathers, and all others who use our products. I am personally proud to be part of that. I hope you are too. J&J chose Tampa because of the quality of the people here, people with experience in business services, smart, talented people. People with multilingual capabilities. This North American Regional Center is here because you are here. Today we celebrate this new center as the latest advancement in the proud history of the world's largest and most broadly based healthcare company. We recognize the possibility of health and wellness for all families everywhere, and we recognize the unique advantage of J&J people here and throughout the world. We celebrate together. Thank you for allowing me to share this historic moment here in Tampa with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Aaron. All right, folks, now for the reason we have all gathered here today. I'd like to invite Governor Scott, Mayor Buckhorn, Dominic Caruso, and Aaron Champlin to stand behind our J&J ribbon. And now to celebrate and officially open the J&J Global Services Tampa facility, our J&J and government leaders will lead us in a symbolic activity that celebrates GS Tampa through the work that is diverse talents, that our diverse talents do for J&J and affiliates all over North America. This center helps J&J touch the lives of patients, doctors and nurses, mothers, fathers and families, employees, communities, and shareholders. Now, is everybody ready to cut the ribbon? Oh, come on now. Are y'all ready to cut the ribbon?
3, 2, 1.